Hey guys, you're watching the Scran line. Today, I'm going to show you how to make, I don't know what words to use to describe this cheesecake. It's a no-bake cheesecake and there's no gelatin, but it's still really, really fluffy. I can't wrap my head around that. I'm going to show you guys how to make it. This one is cherry ripple flavored. We're going to make the sauce together. It has a cookie crust, really easy to make. Did I mention this is no-bake, guys? And it has no gelatin. It's really fluffy. I can't believe it. Watch to the end to see my reaction when I'm tasting it. Let's get stuck into the recipe. Let's head on over to the stove because we want to begin with the cherry ripple sauce. This is really, really easy to make. I'm using fresh cherries today, but you can use frozen cherries if you don't have fresh ones. I've just pitted mine and taken the stalk off, of course. Pop it into your saucepan on medium-high heat, along with 2 tablespoons of sugar. Give it a bit of a stir to coat those cherries in the sugar, and this thing basically cooks itself. So you're gonna sit it there for about 5 or 6 minutes. It's gonna cook, those cherries are gonna soften, and your house is gonna begin smelling incredible. After about 6 minutes, once they're nice and plump, you're gonna turn the heat off, let them cool down to room temperature. So while that's over there cooling, we are gonna move on to making the crust. Really, really easy. So I'm gonna be using my food processor today. If you don't have one of these, you can just pop your Oreos into a Ziploc bag and crush it using a rolling pin. This is just easier, so I'm gonna use this. We're gonna pour our Oreos into our food processor, along with some brown sugar, and we're gonna blitz this until we reach a fine crumb. Now, I've got some butter here that I melted on top of the stove, and we're gonna pour this in here while the mixer is on high speed to coat the crumbs in the butter. All right, so this is beautiful and ready to go. Now, today I'm gonna be using an 8-inch springform pan. For those of you who don't know, most of you probably do. It has like a little clip that undoes, and it just makes getting cheesecake like this out a lot easier. So this is what we're going to be using. This is an 8-inch one. I want to line the bottom with some baking paper. I've just cut it out into a circle because I have a little bit of OCD when it comes to the way things look. So we're just going to place that on top of the bottom of the springform pan. We're going to place the ring back on top and snap it shut. So now when we try to take this out, it won't be stuck to the bottom. It'll be so much easier to lift off onto our serving plate. So let's take the blade out of here, and we are going to pour this into our springform pan. Some of it's stuck to the bottom, so I'm going to need a spoon to get that out. I'm going to use the same spoon, so the back of this spoon, and we're going to be pressing the Oreo crumb mixture into the sides. Don't worry too much about if it's coming up right up to the top yet. We will get it right up to the top, but let's just focus on the bottom of it. So just go all the way around and press it to the sides. You might find that the crumb starts sticking to the back of the spoon. Just be patient and work through it. And then once you've got it like at the bottom around the sides, you're going to start kind of encouraging some to go on top of that. And as you're going around, use your thumb to kind of flatten it out the top so you get a nice even top. Okay, so once you've gone around the top, what we're going to do is, I've been holding the spoon on a bit of an angle, so the bottoms are a lot thicker. I'm just going to carefully dig away the bottom of the sides where I've pressed the crumb and kind of straighten it out. And that crumb is what we're going to use for the bottom. Now, here's a little trick, and I wouldn't recommend kids do this because it's a little bit dangerous, but it just makes doing the bottom of this so much easier. You could use the spoon to do this, but you might wreck the sides as you're doing it. So I like to scrape the crumb off and then just, I bend the spoon so it's like that. And then that makes doing this so much easier. Now you might be like, Nick, you can use the bottom of a straight glass. I don't know, I just never find that that works for me, but it might for you. But I just do it like this. So this is so easy. Like you just press in the crumb on the bottom, easy. And then you can just like bend it back. Hopefully your spoons aren't super old and they don't break while you're doing it. Easy, done. This is gonna go in the freezer until we're ready to use it. So our cherries have chilled, and the last thing you wanna do to finish these off, I've got a little food processor here. If you don't have a little one, you can just use a big one or you can just use a food blender. But the point is here that we're gonna be blitzing these and creating a sauce. So I'm gonna pour these into my food processor, and we're gonna blitz these until it's finely crushed and nice and smooth. I'm gonna set this aside in the fridge until we're ready to use it. Cheesecake time. So, cheesecake is really, really easy to make. I'm gonna be using Peggy, my stand mixer today, but if you don't have your own Peggy, you can just use a hand mixer. The first thing we're going to be doing is the cheesecake mixture, and then in a separate bowl, I'm going to be whipping up the cream. We're going to combine the two together. It's going to be a fluffy, joyous thing. So, first thing we're going to do is I have some room temperature cream cheese. I let this sit out for an hour just so that it's softened and it's not like really stiff straight out of the fridge. So we're going to pop that into our bowl. Now, because I'm using Peggy today, I'm going to be using a paddle attachment first to kind of break up the cheese and get it nice and smooth. So let's pop that on there. A couple minutes until it's nice and smooth. All right, that's nice and smooth. Let's scrape it down. Okay, so let's pop the balloon whisk attachment on there, and we're going to be adding some sugar in here. We're going to mix this for about 2 or 3 minutes until it's really well combined. So the idea with the balloon whisk, I forgot to mention earlier, is that this is going to like aerate this mixture a lot more than the paddle attachment. If you're using a hand mixer, don't worry, the beaters on the hand mixer will do that as well. So I don't know why I'm doing that. Put it back on. But I just want to scrape this down because we're going to add the rest of the ingredients, and it's really good to get into the habit of scraping down and not getting mixture all over your hands. I need to wipe this off. This mixture just wants to be on my hands. So everything in the bowl will mix really, really well, and that way it's a nice even mixture. So the last things we're going to be adding are some sour cream. This is going to make this just that much richer and more fluffy. We're going to be adding, God, it's not my day today. We're going to be adding some powdered sugar just for a little bit of extra sweetness. Now, my secret ingredient for this cheesecake is milk powder. I'm going to be using whole milk powder. You can use skim if you want. But what this is going to do is it's going to thicken our cheesecake so it's sliceable and not just like one droopy, gloopy mess. But it's also going to make it really rich and just that much more delicious. So in all of that goes, we're going to add a good splash of vanilla extract. We're going to mix this for another 2 to 3 minutes. Start on low speed because you don't want a sugar dust storm everywhere, and then bring it up to high speed until everything is nice and smooth. Gorgeous. This looks absolutely delicious. We're going to hold off eating it because I want to whip up the cream. So I'm going to be using really, really cold, straight out of the fridge cream because this whips up better. So pour all of that in there. Begin on medium speed, bring it up to high speed until you reach stiff peaks. Perfect. Let's get rid of that cream. Now our cheesecake filling is what we're going to be adding the cream to, and you want to be careful when you fold this through because you don't want to deflate all of the air that we've mixed into these two mixtures. Otherwise you're going to end up with like a really flat cheesecake, and we want a nice fluffy cheesecake. Okay, let's set that aside and grab our Oreo crust. I need to do that better. All right, let's set that aside and I'm gonna grab my Oreo crust. So we have our chilled Oreo crust, we have our cheesecake mixture, which is super fluffy and begging to be eaten, but I'm gonna hold off. And then I have my cool down cherry mixture as well. Everything's ready to go. So we're gonna pop about like 2 spatula fulls, like generous spatula fulls of this cheesecake mixture into our crust. I'm going to use a spoon to just spread it around. So once you've got it nice and flat, we're going to add a couple teaspoons of this cherry sauce. And I'm just going to use a skewer. I'm just going to swirl that cherry sauce around. It doesn't have to be too perfect, but the idea here is that we get it nice and swirled as evenly as we can. We're going to add our cheesecake filling on top of that. Use that spoon to spread it out. Now guys, this isn't going to be one of those perfect cheesecakes that has a nice flat top. This is going to look a little bit rusty and like bumpy on the top, and that's completely fine because we're going to be adding some toppings on top once this sets. All right, a couple more teaspoons of that cherry sauce on top. Now, we're not going to be using all of this because we're going to use some of it as like something to put on the side when we serve our cheesecake. So just another 2 teaspoons and just pop that in the fridge until you're ready to use it. And we're just going to swirl this around as nicely as we can. So this is where we want to get a nice swirl. So take your time, but don't over swirl because then this just ends up looking like, kind of like, it just looks over swirled. You want like some nice distinct parts of red and some nice distinct parts of white. One way to get this a little bit flatter is to just gently tap it on top of your workbench. I've got a towel under here so it's not making a loud noise and waking Oscar up, who, by the way, I don't know if you can hear him snoring. So a couple times. This is going to go in the fridge for about 6 to 8 hours. It does take a little while. This is a good like ahead of time dessert that you can make like the day before, because if you set it overnight, it sets even better. So I'm going to pop this in the fridge, let it set. I'll come back tomorrow and show you guys what this looks like, and we'll do a taste test. So this was in the fridge overnight. It's been in there for about, I'd say about a day, and it's going to be perfectly set. So let's take it out. I am going to carefully lift this out of the tin. Let's take that away. See, that's why you put paper underneath. And we are going to pop this on our plate. Beautiful. Now, if you're taking this to like say a party, or you're like serving it at a dinner or whatever, like you're serving it with guests, maybe like pop some fresh cherries on top just to kind of dress it up. You could even pop some fresh cream on top, or serve this with ice cream. I mean, it's already gorgeous as it is, but dressing it up just a little bit extra, it really like just elevates this. I am so excited, like beyond excited to cut into this. So let's do this. I've been waiting since yesterday. Oh my God, this looks so fluffy. Okay, there's no gelatin in this. So to get it this fluffy without gelatin, this is like a miracle cheesecake. You know what I really love about this? Can you guys see all of those different kind of layers of the cherry sauce that we made? It's such a pretty dessert. Like, it's naturally pink as well. There's no food coloring. I'm not about the food coloring anymore. So I'm gonna give this a try. Oh my God. This is amazing. I think I might like this better than baked cheesecake. I don't actually have a recipe for baked cheesecake. If you guys want me to find a really good one and make a video, leave a comment down below, let me know. But in the meantime, try this cheesecake. It's so good, it's so good. I'm gonna have another bite. I'm gonna book a room for me and this cheesecake, but before I do, if you wanna watch more delicious videos, I've got one over there. Click over there and watch more of my recipes. I think I might be finishing in this entire cheesecake, guys. I think that's about to happen. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen for this recipe video. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff to help me grow this channel. I'll see you guys on the next episode of the Scran line after I put on like 10 kilos from eating this entire thing. Okay, bye.